Look from the book, presented by Top Sport.
Tristan, good to catch up. How's things been up in Queensland?
Yeah, very good up here. It's had a few of the public holidays, so I missed a couple of them.
And you've got another one coming up this Monday, I gather.
We do. Labor Day up here for us, so it's it makes the weeks interesting because it cuts down the other days. But you've got plenty of racing, plenty of footy. There's been plenty of action on those days, which is always good.
We didn't chat on Monday, obviously with that Anzac Day public holiday. What did you have for dinner on Saturday night? The listeners want to know, Turfy.
We had some big issues Saturday where we went to book, everywhere was closed. Being the I don't know, we end up having to get ducked down to the little corner shop. So I don't think the boys were overly impressed with what happened on Saturday. So I think I've got to take a bit of blame for that one.
Maybe because you trashed the last joint you went to.
Group 1 racing moves to Adelaide this week. We've got the Oaks over there. What's betting been like on this Morpheville meeting?
Yeah, it's been really good, particularly the Oaks. The obviously El Patroness coming out of the race has caused a few of the runners to firm up a little bit. But my whisper, it's been 550 into 340, but it's still been a reasonably good move away from it. Barb Raid has been well back. Bonds of Pearl. There's been some support for a number of the different runners, which I think is going to be a really good betting meeting.
All right, you mentioned last week there was a heavily backed runner early in Sydney, which ultimately didn't get the cash. So you guys cleaned up yet again, just add another zero to the budget for the Christmas party. Where's the big plunge been so far this week?
Yeah, the big plunge, actually, I wrote these notes about half an hour ago, and I was going to say Rothfire had been 270 into 240. It had been really well backed at that price point. There's a lot of money that takes it to move there in one of the listed races. I see it's come into 220 again just in the last half an hour. So been very, very well backed. That's race 8, number 3, Rothfire in the Victory Stakes up there in Brisbane.
It is his favourite track, but he's got to find something like his old form, doesn't he? I know that's short, and I know he'd beat him on his best, but I did see one of his trials recently.
What'd you make of it? You don't like trials, Turfy.
Well, they're fair Nickham trials up there.
Oh.
No, I thought he looked terrific in that particular work that I saw.
Lay of the day. It's been a while since one of them's got home, but gee whiz, Grand Slam absolutely bolted in.
Yeah, I don't think I could have been any more wrong about that one. We put it in for our maximum, and I don't think there was ever one iota of an instance where we thought we were going to get the cash there. So punters are way too good, but you got to have another crack. So we're going to go to Sandown. I think there's going to be a few patrons at the Sandown track, aren't there, on the weekend? We got
seagulls and pigeons and punches, I reckon, Tristan.
Hey, speaking of that, the horse you lay last week, Grand Slam. I mean, the trend of the betting must have caused you concern because it was back to the I mean, the only other horse on the betting anyway was Ain't No Deal Done, but they only wanted to be on Grand Slam.
Oh, they did. Like when we spoke on Thursday last week, it was actually slight favourites, Ain't No Deal Done, but that was completely wrong. The punters were just all over it. They kept coming, Top Flark, Best the Best, Totus Beast. So no, it was
getting off in the run either. It was about $1.10 after they'd gone 400 metres.
Yeah. As soon as you saw the sort of red screen, I think it was pop up on the racing.com sectional analysis in play, suggesting that despite the fact that Grand Slam was controlling it miles in front, they weren't going that hard.
Yeah.
It was all over. But sorry, we interrupted you there. What was the lay of the day this weekend?
We're going to go Sandown race 3, number 1, Jaconi. It's been in good form, but barrier 12, I just think Prentice on board, up in the weight. So I think it looks a really even field. So I just think at 3:10, it's probably a touch under. So we're going to try to take on that horse in the third race there at Sandown.
That's our man Tommy Rockford's horse.
Obviously scratched from Flemington.
Scratched last
Monday.
week. Yep. I think he's a nice progressive horse, but I haven't done that form for that race. I can't comment.
That's a massive surprise.
Let's get into the multi. We've got the heavy hitting artillery back. Paul's back in the side. Turfy,
I went Ain't No Deal Done last week, and I did pick a 2-horse race and just went the wrong way. But I'm going to go. Can I go first?
Yeah.
I'm going to go Agreeable the Place.
I'm going Skywolf the Place at Sandown, race 3.
I'm going Bonds of Perla. Now, my producer's trying to talk me out of going the win at $9. So
give us a fighting chance. Having said that, she's one of my favourite fillies, that one. So, and she's due to win.
I'm going to go for the on the nose for the win. Bonds of Perla. I think that it is. Having watched you guys from afar for the last 2 weeks, 2 solid podcasts. some very ordinary tipping.
There we go.
In Turf's defence, though, Matt.
Hold on, I tipped Verlander. It paid about $250 the place.
In Turf's defence, though, he hasn't done the form. So
we're going to have to take a look at his contract.
Contract? Yeah, I think it's written it underneath here somewhere.
So Bonza Perla for me on top.
That's a very gutsy call. It's $9.50 at the moment. So it's it's got to add a lot of value. What was yours, Turf? I missed it when you mentioned.
Agreeable, the place. She's number 1 in race 3 or 4, is it? With Matty Cartwright on board.
Agreeable, yes.
Yeah, so, just the drum, because she's first up, but.
That's where the dart landed this morning.
She's never been in a weaker race.
Oh, what does that come out at? What does that come out at, Tristan?
At $38.66. So we got 2 places. Race 3, number 12, Skywolf, the place. Race 4, number 1, Agreeable, the place.
The 2 shorties are for the place, and the longer ones the win. Having said that, I'm a big
Tristan.
I'm a big fan of that filly.
That bet simply cannot lose.
Oh, don't you start.
Gee whiz, add another 0 to it, I think. All right, well, I think your money's safe there on all the bets you're right on that multi potentially. But just quickly, I want to ask you, the Demons, there's been a COVID scare through the camp. What's that done to markets for the Demons ahead of their game with Hawthorn this Saturday?
Yeah, it has seen a bit of money for the Hawks. The Hawks were pretty good for 3 quarters, but then they folded up there last week. But they're into 4.25. The line's gone 5 points, 30.5 into 25.5. We do know the Demons, as you tell me, most weeks they've got a lot of depth. So we'll see if they can get the result without there. I think it's 3 players out. So, yeah, it has moved Hawthorn's way, though.
Just gave up 9 goals in the last quarter last week, Hawthorn. Put me out of the footy quad.
I was speaking to someone the other day telling a tale about, I think they're on the line, Hawks plus, I don't know what it was. It might have been 11-ish or something like that. And, midway through the game, half-time, they would have thought, how far? And they never looked a hope halfway through the last quarter.
Well, they kicked 2 goals in the last 30 seconds that put me out. So there's a bad beat for you.
Hate to see that.
Of course you do.
All right, Tristan, great to catch up. Look forward to chatting to you next week.
Thanks, guys. Speak to you Monday.
A good 3 with Dr. Turf, Matt Welsh and Paul Tatnall.